What's up everyone? This is your first video. Welcome to the channel. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Let's get into the video today, which is about the ZEV oz9. Alright, so right off the bat, this isn't going to be a very technical, in-depth video. This isn't the channel for that. If you want a technical, in-depth video, go find a different video. This is just a video from a normal dude that bought this ZEV oz9 with their own money, who is also a little bit of a Glock hater. So I bought a Gucci Glock. So getting into this gun, this is a ZEV oz9 Elite, I think. So I bought this used. This is a V1 or Gen 1 ZEV oz9. So anyone not familiar with it, it is a fully modular gun. So they do sell like the frame or receiver, whatever they call it, which can be replaced into different grips with different slides. The V1 version is basically full size. They don't make this anymore. They switched to a compact version. The V1 is Glock 17 size, so you could do a Glock 17 or a 34 slide, which is the really long, the 5-inch slide. Obviously, you could change grip size. They have compact grips and stuff like that. Icarus Precision makes a metal grip for this. The Gen 2 or V2 ZEV oz9, which is the compact, you can run anything from a Glock 19 up. From there, ZEV does sell their own metal grip for that. It's a pretty cool setup. It would be pretty nice to have one of those. So ZEV, if you want to send one out to me, I'll take it. But let's go over my experience with this gun and if I'm going to keep it / carry it. Also, one other thing on this, this is all Glock Gen 3 part. So any part that needs replacing on this, internal, striker, anything like that, can be replaced with the Glock Gen 3 parts. The newer version of this, I think, is a mixed match of Gen 3 and Gen 5. This is the first gun I bought. This is a Glock 17 Gen 3. This is back when I was living in New York and was kind of had to jump through loopholes just to buy a gun, but this is where we're at. Went to the store, actually wanted a 19, and they didn't have any of those, so I settled on a 17. Obviously, as you can see, this is iron sighted only, or Glock plastic sight, and then I changed them to iron sights. There is no optic cut on this. This used to have the finger grooves. I was bored one day and I decided I was going to stipple the gun myself. Didn't come out great, but not horrible. Just the main thing is just the borders need to be cleaned up. But other than that, a lot more grip than the stock one. Problems with the Glock. So the only thing I've done to this, other than the stippling, is I just changed the back plate on it, because why not? This gun I have couple thousand rounds through. I don't have a ton of rounds through this gun because I'm not a big fan of Glock. So things I don't like about Glock, it's basically the only thing, is the grip angle. So that's a big issue for a lot of people. Happens to be an issue for me. Not the end of the world, just was never really a fan of it. So for my hands, what I've noticed when I don't really have this problem anymore, because since I've gotten more into shooting and now I'm into competitive shooting, I'm not really slow firing very much. But the problem that I had with this gun, with my grip, it kind of puts my finger at a downward angle. So slow firing, my finger would work its way to like this little nub in the corner, and it would kind of start getting feel like it was getting pinched between the trigger guard and the trigger. That was an issue for me. And then obviously optics, but you send it out to get optics cut, which isn't a big deal. Moving forward from that, we moved to Utah, decided I wanted a new gun. I've always liked the M&P 2.0, so we wound up picking one up. So this is a compact, this is a Glock 19 size, which is a little bit better for carry, for myself at least. Changed it to Apex trigger. We got a couple videos on it and a couple different iterations of the gun, just from stock. Then I had a compensator on it, then I got it ported. But we're using this for a while, never any issues with this. Then fast forward to March or April this year, I believe April. I been seeing on Instagram a bunch of different people running ZEV. I guess their marketing kind of got me, between that and then a couple different shooters shooting really well with this gun. I'm like, let me give Glock another try. And one thing that they do, their grip angle isn't as steep or ridiculous as Glock. So everything on the regular Glock can be changed to mimic this setup, with the exception of the grip. I know there are some companies that have different pieces for back straps on the grip for the Glock to kind of bring it out to not make it as steep of an angle, but decided to try this out, and so far I'm liking it. So you see on the overhead shot of this, the B-roll that you're looking on the screen right now, the Glock is on the bottom and Zev is on the top. Obviously, you can see that extra bump out at the bottom of the Glock grip. Not crazy about that. It puts my hand at a weird angle. Some people love it, some people don't like it. I'm one of the people that don't really like it. Now let's go over my usage experience with this Zev oz9. So before I started carrying it, I put a couple hundred rounds through it, which was good enough for me. I know in the past, maybe still, people have problems with the extractor on the V1 versions of these guns. I haven't had any issues yet. I have maybe 1,000 to 1,500 rounds through it. I didn't have any malfunctions with the gun leading up to carrying it, so it was good enough for me. From April to about July, we're carrying this gun almost every single day. Only issues I have found with it, for me, let me throw the mag in it that I would be carrying with. This does print a little bit more than I would like it to, so that's why we stopped carrying it in July. So other issue we had with this gun, not any reason to not carry it, the coating on the backside here. So as you can see, that is just, I guess, wearing off from rubbing on my stomach and sweat. I assume this is a DLC coating, but that wore off pretty damn quick, in my opinion, considering when I moved here, I was literally carrying the Glock every single day, possibly for a longer period of time than that Zev, but it's also a factory Glock and they're kind of indestructible. Same thing with the M&P when I switched over to that. Before I had it ported and Cerakoted, I was carrying that every day, and that stock Smith & Wesson coating never wore off either. So I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but I did buy this gun used. It literally looked like it was never fired before, so they could have just cleaned the crap out of it, which they probably did. But I feel like I got a pretty good buy on this. Pretty aesthetically pleasing. It has the window in the top with the dimples on the barrel. The barrel is dimpled all the way around. Pretty nice damn gun. So let's shoot this a little bit. Gonna shoot the Glock with the iron sights. Then we're gonna put this slide onto the Glock because they're compatible, Gen 3, and see if that changes my mind on the Glock at all. But let's shoot a little. Real quick, if you want to support the channel in any way, just go in the description, follow those links. We got some merch, we got some Amazon links, we got some discounts for other parts. If you want to support the channel by not using any money, just hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment, share, all that stuff, and let's get back to the video. Get out of here, hummingbird. All right. Let's shoot a little. Feels good. Like it. Let's shoot the Glock quick. Then we will throw this slide on the Glock, and then maybe we'll throw the Glock slide on this just to see if it's just the basic ass slide on iron sights I don't really like, or the grip angle. All right, Gen 3, pretty damn stock Glock versus my Zev oz9. Let's see if we could actually hit anything. I haven't shot irons in a very long time, and I usually suck at it. All right, not gonna lie, that felt pretty good. Slight change of plan on the second part. The stock Glock slide will not fit on the Zev frame, but the Zev slide fits on the stock Glock frame. So let's load up, let's shoot a little bit. Not gonna lie, digging the look of this a little bit. Hey, not too bad. It looks pretty cool with the extended base plate. These are the Zev base plates. Adds 5 rounds, I think, so this brings it up to 22 rounds. We're back to the original configuration, all Zev. Let's shoot a little bit. Gonna do a couple 1R1s, I think, just to shoot a little bit more. Hopefully I can hear my timer because I have it double taped because it's loud AF normally, especially for dry fire. Oh. All right, so first shot 171, which was horrible with a 364 reload. I have been dry firing a shitload with my competition belt, and it's draw from here, mags are from here. I went for that mag just from muscle memory. Got to do that again, clear the garment magazine instead. That was a 535. Let's just do that a little better. All right, that was a 395, first shot 156. Bad grip. All right, 419. Not my best shooting. Haven't been shooting from concealment very much lately, but let's do some final thoughts. All right, so final thoughts on the ZEV oz9 pistol. So, would I buy this again? So this is dependent on the price I'm getting it for. If you have, say, a Gen 5 Glock, MOS, some people say that's not the best mounting system, but you already have an optic mount. If I remember correctly, the Gen 5 Glocks have serrations on the front. Myself, when I load a magazine, I usually come in over the top. So obviously the no serrations on this is no bueno for me. But for this, I would slam the mag in and rack it like that. This has beautiful serrations over the top. Get a nice purchase on it to rack the slide. So if you have a Gen 5 Glock and you have serrations on the front, this is not very worth it. I got this gun for right around $1,000 used. So this came just like a stock plain gun. It didn't have the light on it. I only put the light on it if I'm carrying it. The optic I mounted, it had a regular plate. This had a magwell on it. Then it came with two magazines. It came with a Glock magazine with the extended base plate on, which very aesthetically pleasing, and a P mag, I believe. For that price, for what you're getting, I think it is a hell of a deal, especially if you don't have a Glock at all and you want to get into this. I think it's a pretty good idea. It does have the upgraded trigger. Trigger-wise, this is a flatter trigger. It puts my hand at a better angle. I don't find it, for myself, my finger working its way down the trigger and getting caught between the trigger guard. Or you can just take your back strap, if you have a Gen 5 Glock, and you just cut this top section off and put it in, and it's supposed to make it not as steep of an angle. It's supposed to so if I'm holding it like this, it would bring the top of your hand out a little bit, so it wouldn't be as extreme of an angle. So would I recommend this gun? Yes, depending on the price. A brand new one in configuration similar to this, I think runs you about $1,500 to $1,800, depending what parts you put on it. So that's pretty damn expensive for a Glock. When you could buy a Glock 17 for, what are they, like 600-ish, and then just do a couple upgrades from there, and you're probably about $1,000 overall. But if you find a nice used one in really good condition, I would say go for it. It's a pretty cool gun. I enjoy it. I enjoy it more than my Glock because, like I was saying, the grip angle. But shooting my Glock today with this slide on it, it was pretty fun. Felt pretty good. It shot pretty good. So I'm gonna end it there. You can take that how you want. This is not any way endorsing either of these because it's up to you. Do you want a stock Glock? Do you want a Gucci Glock? It's up to you. I go Gucci. Are you ready? Stand by. Did I hit that?